What is going on, guys? I am MC Fixer, sat here with the one and only Game Over Greg Miller.
The powers unite! Superpowers of the internet games!
We've done it again.
I know, right?
I've got you again.
An annual thing now, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yo, every time he's in London, I'm gonna be like, yo, can we get an interview? Can we get an interview?
I won't say no.
Let's do it.
I don't think anybody who reached out for interviews got denied this year. Now, granted, I may have been slow to put you to Joey to tell me what my schedule was, but
Whatever, it happens. How are you?
I'm great, MC. How are you?
I'm good. It's been an amazing... How long?
It's been 4.5 hours right now.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 3. You were supposed to be the cap at 3.
Yes.
But of course, you're an amazing human being, so you didn't mind going later and waiting out with us.
Exactly.
Not to mention, if you're an MC Fixer fan, hey, Greg Miller, I understand. This
not
young
true.
gentleman took over control of the line and took photos and made sure people were entertained as I ran to the bathroom.
That's right.
You got to be the bad guy,
Yes.
which I can never do, and be like, we got to take photos and move the line.
You gotta do it. It's gotta be done. You're bobbing and weaving. You're making things happen.
You know how it is. This has been an amazing venue that they let us stay an hour and a half over.
I think they're happy for the business.
Oh, sure. Yeah, everybody's paying.
Exactly. Where do we start with you? I think we start with Extra Life.
Oh, sure.
I didn't get to watch this year. I didn't get to watch live this year.
Okay.
So
Fair.
I was at a wedding and I was like checking. I was like, they're making it. Okay. It was shaky. Obviously, you had the problem.
Oh yeah, not us. Extra Life.
No.
Extra Life had problems.
Exactly. How was that for you, though? Because obviously, it's that time of you're doing it. It's 24 hours, no matter what.
Sure.
You're still going. And how was that like technical? Did it come into your head at all? Was it annoying? How was it for you?
For me, honestly, it was a non-issue because I knew that the way so if you're not familiar with it. For some reason, a bunch of assholes decided to DDoS Extra Life during this, which their biggest day, this charity raising money for sick kids and the Children's Miracle Network, they attacked the site so that you couldn't donate money and you're crashing it and doing all this different stuff. For me, I wasn't worried because I understood how our audience is. Yeah. And if I was to say, all right, cool, write down in an IOU right now what you would donate, people are going to do that and they'll actually do it later
it's true.
on.
With this community.
And I think that's the thing, talk about the strength of the community that, we team at Kind of Funny has raised over $100,000.
That's what I was going to mention.
Which we've never done. That's always been the goal. I've always driven us for $100K.
So to go from that, I think look at the problems that you guys had. Yeah. So you raised a lot of money, obviously. Yeah. But I think it just shows the strength of the community.
Oh my God, totally. Because at the end of the Kind of Funny stream, Kind of Funny's Extra Life, we didn't have the 100K.
No, yeah.
It was that we were in a great position, but then to have people like OK Beast, Irrational Passion step up.
I was literally just about to say that, to see OK Beast, Irrational Passion, all of those guys that I've obviously been following their journey myself.
Yeah.
And to see how they've grown as a team and grown as a business, and it's interesting for me personally, because obviously being MC Fixer is actually really hard compared to being My Xbox and Me.
Oh, totally,
My weekly Xbox podcast.
Oh, where can I get that?
iTunes, Spotify, anywhere, Podbean, all those places.
How excited do you get when you hear me say that xCloud might be the reason I start playing all my third-party games?
I get excited because I'm like, I might be able to get Greg on board.
No, 100%.
For me, I get more excited for the community, honestly, because obviously the reason I started My Xbox and Me was to come and work for Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
And then I started looking into the legal side of that, and I was like, this probably isn't going to happen, but I might be able to get and do some work one day. We'll see. But for me, it's a case of I'm so happy that hopefully you're still going to be known as the PlayStation guy, always. Of course. But I think to the new audience, I did a little interview with some of the community members throughout the week that we've been doing things, and a lot of them is, we want Xbox content, content. And I think it'd be interesting if you become the one that is driving the brand because you're planning it, not because we've got no stocks. I always say it's funny, my fiance's off camera and we're in the cinema and literally a PlayStation logo comes up, she's like, boo! And the Xbox logo, she's like, I'm like, we don't have stock in these companies. Stop. She's like, I don't care. I've got my alliances. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Like I said in your show,
fanboy, goddammit.
Like I said in your show, Xbox is doing the most interesting stuff publicly. So I can't wait. And having xCloud, literally getting xCloud 3 days after I got Stadia access and being like, xCloud's way better. Yeah. And it is that thing of right now, if it had my entire library, right, if I could
that's your problem though. Whereas because you were on PlayStation, what I mean by that is because you were on PlayStation, it's not all gonna just come over. Where with
I didn't mean that.
Okay.
I mean if it was out right now and I had bought Jedi Fallen Order on Xbox, I'd be kicking off. And Jen's like, I'm gonna play Pokemon. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna keep 100%ing planets.
But you could do remote play, so you could have done that.
It doesn't work that well though. Like
the Xbox one, I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
The Xbox one I've heard is good, not PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStations I've used before, and like I've had varying experiences.
What, the man who loves Vita? I'm sure he's tried.
And I don't think my UK hotel connection, which is bad for my iPhone, is going to be good for this.
Good point. But how does, obviously, going back to Extra Life real quick, the thing I noticed the most is, like I was saying, with the communities. I think it's interesting that you've brought in Blessing, who won the up-and-comer opportunity. Right. I was heartbroken. I wasn't. I actually wasn't. It was an interesting thing because I always look at things business-wise because I run a business.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way I'm winning this. And people were saying to me, why? I was like, it costs too much. And that's the way I look at it. I was like, they're going to send 2 people from America, and if they do it again, maybe they will broaden their horizons.
Sure.
That makes sense for me from a business perspective. And I think that was a lot of my community, obviously, they wanted me to do it. It's weird, I had my aunt sending an email, and people that don't understand what I do, because they didn't understand what it was either. They're like, you're going to get a job in America? I'm like, no, stop, you don't get it. But I'm so proud of, obviously, Chloe, who's here today, and Blessing, because I've watched Blessing, his journey, and I'm like, they deserved it.
Yeah.
And they did a great job. But the Extra Life stuff is like, you've built up these characters, these people, and then obviously your audience has now gone to those, and me included in that. And I find it so interesting that it actually turns over more money for charity, obviously, and for them as well. And I find that so interesting.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see that proliferation of the idea, right? Of when I started doing Extra Life at IGN, when nobody knew what Extra Life was, and then the way Extra Life as an event has grown for gaming in general, let alone to then have it be that people who have their own communities, their own podcasts, their own whatever, that could play for any team are playing for our team. Yeah. Because you can join anybody's team you want to.
Oh, I thought about it, don't worry. I didn't do it this year because I didn't feel comfortable asking people for more money.
Yeah, you've been in an interesting space this year, right?
Yeah, obviously I want to say thank you on camera, and I've already thanked you privately for donating and helping and showing awareness, obviously, to it. Obviously, for those who don't know, I got robbed. I got all my stuff back thanks to a GoFundMe. And you don't understand, like, I couldn't get in contact with Hayley, which is my fiance, and I feel so weird ever messaging you, because I always feel like I'm a burden, always.
You're never a burden.
That's how I feel, though. I know what it's, look, I did it on such a small scale compared to what you do, and I know what it's like. You're busy, you've got your own life.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, hey, so I got robbed. I literally tried to ring Hayley, she was out, tried to ring my mum, she was busy, and the third person I went to was, I'm going to DM Greg. And I was like, no. Don't do that.
You know you're able to.
I knew. That's why I did it after the fact. I was like, dude, I got robbed. Oh my god, what do I do? But it's like I have such a connection to you, which is so strange for me, because like now I sit with you and we know each other, and my name obviously this week, which is strange for me. The XO thing for me, that's what I wanted. I wanted that moment. I didn't think it would happen. But it's like what I said when we did RTX last year. If I wrote down on a piece of paper everything I wanted to happen, which is I met you and you were instant like MC Fixer, big shouted, big hug, and it's like that, and then pull me up on stage. This is stuff I've dreamt about. And it all happened. Like, it's like, oh well, next year I'll improve. And it's weird, I had a really bad slump after it. Because I had this man, everyone knows who I am. Man. I've made it. I'm MC Fixer, baby.
Yeah, you wished it.
And I was like, no.
The amount of times I bring, oh man, Brian Foster's on We Have Cool Friends. That episode did 65,000. Well, the next issue of Cool, we have 7,000 views. Fuck, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, right? It sucks.
It's strange. But I just want to thank you personally, before we get into like different questions, for what you've done for me personally. Like, people don't quite get it when I say to people, because we got like a UK Facebook chat. And like, that's where I do a lot of the organisations and stuff like that.
Lots of Oi governors, right?
A lot of Oi governors, of course, and cup of tea, crumpets, all that, of course.
No, I can say that because I'm here in the UK.
This is on the internet. You know how the internet works.
But the internet knows that if I'm in UK, I'm able to say, what's up, you fucking cunts? And everybody's like, they all love it. They go, he's one of us.
There goes my
monetization. He loves the
queen. No, exactly. It's funny because obviously the UK group, I'm talking to them and stuff like that all the time, and it's weird. I try and say to them, you don't understand how much this community means to me. Like, it's not, I don't, today, and it's not self-pity or anything like that, it's like, I don't stand outside for an hour today because the brunch place we were going to go to.
Got closed by the cops or something,
whatever. And it's a case of, I don't stand out there because I want to, it's because I owe my life to this community. I went through such dark places and such bad times, and to come out the other end of it and be MC Fixer, which is still weird. Which I joke with people like, don't call me Corey. They're like, which is my third real name. It's like, because the only people who call me Corey is my mom and my fiance. And they don't even call me Corey, they call me Core.
Yeah.
So everyone like, call me Fixer or Fix. Like, it's easier. And everyone's like, MC. I'm like, you don't understand what music was, do you? I used to be a rapper, goddammit. But yeah, it's interesting. So I just thank you. Thank you. Let's get off the personal stuff, which is...
Fuck it, no more personal stuff.
No more personal stuff. Maybe for you, but not for me.
Okay,
anyway.
good, that's fine.
Let's talk about, let's do Kinda Funny 4.0.
Sure. Man, here we are at the end of the year, right?
Some people will say it's the best content you've ever made.
And they would be correct.
You think so?
Yeah.
Definitely?
100%, without a doubt. I think the numbers back that up too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The fact that, I don't think we've ever made bad content.
No, I don't
But the
think so
problem
either.
is that we've buried content. Where I feel when you watch the morning show...
I still argue say you do that.
Oh, okay.
Because I hate your SEO.
Oh, yeah. I've seen you on the subreddit.
I don't give a crud. I hate your SEO because you have Bruce Green on. I always think I judge Kinda Funny the hardest because I love it so much.
Oh, I know.
And that's why I very rarely voice it, not to you, and like, even in the community, I talk about it, and I'm like, but I love him. And they're like, you sure? I'm like, no, I love him. And that's why I'm saying it, because I love him so much. It's like, you had Bruce on. It's like, why is him leaving Funhouse not in the title?
Because that's not what it's about, right?
So this is the question I wanted to ask you. Is it a case of, because you guys do complain about numbers, not in like a whiny way, but Andy will
more
bring
of a
it up,
punchline.
Nick will bring it up. It's like, this didn't do well, or Party Mode gets cancelled, and the reason is because it didn't do great numbers. So is it about the numbers, or is it not about the numbers?
So let's take that from multiple different things. Start with Party Mode, which is on hiatus, of course.
No, I understand that,
It isn't that, hey, this show didn't do numbers, let's cancel it. It's that the show didn't do numbers and cost Andy so many man hours.
Got you.
Like, this is the shit that was like,
business.
Andy is up till 3 a.m. editing this thing because we don't want it to bring down the quality of Party Mode, right? Like, I think when we get to 2020 and we start talking about what we want to do on games, you'll see, okay, they're this, that, and the other. It's still happening. It's just not in the same vision. Because once you know what Party Mode is, there'd be so many people where we put up a Party Mode that was a lesser edit, not even a no edit, but a lesser, and they'd be like, oh, he didn't even try on this. And it's like, well, no, because he's doing this amazing stuff on. He's streaming on his own, which I don't want to. I don't want anybody to go home and work for Kinda Funny nonstop. Wow. He's streaming on his own.
Well, as a CEO of a company,
you want to give me some free content.
I got you.
Exactly. And then also, like, KFAF requires more, and he's being pulled in different directions. Let alone that Andy's thumbnails are better than my thumbnails. Andy, you know what I mean? Andy's t-shirts are better than Tim's t-shirts. Like, we need him in different spots where we actually hired him before.
Got it.
And so it's a return on the investment even more than the views. Because that's like, none of our shit does millions of views.
No.
And we don't care.
Do you honestly not care?
Yeah.
I care. It's funny because I look at, obviously, as you know, I'm sitting here saying SEO, which people who don't understand that, don't worry about it. But for me, I'm like, why didn't they type? And I'm so small. Like, I did a Sonic reaction video. It's now my third most viewed YouTube video. So I know it from a smaller scale, obviously. And is it a case of, I don't want to SEO it this way because it might bring in the wrong audience? Or is it just a case of, that's not what we want to do?
Yeah, it's both. And audience I don't worry too much about because obviously when you do certain things like Destiny 2, when Luke Smith came through, right?
Yeah.
Like, that one did really well on its own. It didn't need to be, tailored anyway. Part of it is the idea, though, that, I was talking about this on, a different interview today, right? Sorry, it's been a blur.
Yeah, I got you.
And I'm talking about this on this thing you haven't seen, but I'm just used to doing everything live.
I will find it, don't worry.
The idea that I don't want us to be 1 million views, 1 million subs because we are trying to do hot takes, or we're trying to do grabby headlines in a way that's disingenuous. Like, Bruce's interview wasn't about him leaving Funhouse, right? It was. We touched on it.
That's why.
But there's so much more around it. Let alone he's got a video called "Why He Left Funhouse."
Yeah.
Funhouse has got a video "Why He Left Funhouse."
That's why you cash in on it.
But no, we were late to the party anyway.
But you went because you're such a. I think it's because I see it from the outside looking in, which is because you're such a great interviewer. I see it from a case of you did such a great job in that interview and you got tidbits that they hadn't discussed. So I look at it a case of that's why it should have been titled that.
Yeah.
Which would have brought in that audience, do a great job of time coding it at this point, then it's not disingenuous to me. To me, that's the way I look at it.
Totally.
Because then you bring people in and they find that Greg Miller's a great interviewer. They may, the character Greg Miller, they may hate. But
PC Gaming sucks, whatever.
But yeah, for me it's a case of, that's what, again, I always look at it from a business perspective.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how you can be, that's just the way I am.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I think the other side of that, right, is that my goal with We Have Cool Friends is not to get 100,000 views because of a headline.
Yeah.
My goal is to get the amount of views we get every time because they're there for that show.
That was going to be the question.
In the same way, I listen to Death, Sex, and Money.
Yeah.
And the amount of times I've turned on that show, and they're like, our guest today, and I have no idea who this person is, but I love Anna Sale as an interview, so I'm going to listen to the whole show and go through it.
Got it.
I want to build it that way, and in the same way too, like, views and numbers are such a weird thing to get hung
No,
up.
I'm not hung up on them. I just want to see you
grow. I know. My thing is, though, the way we grow correctly is what happened here today, where the line was winding down and this guy came up and he's like, you probably don't remember me, but last year at RTX London I came up with my friend who was over there line, and he's like, I said I didn't watch your content, and I started watching your content because of it, and it's great and I'm in. And like, that's what I want. Growth is great.
Yeah.
If tomorrow we woke up and we had a million subs and every video is getting 900,000 views, man, that'd be a cool ego boost.
Yeah.
But it would immediately erode what we are.
Got it.
The reason Kind of Funny works is because I know you and I know Amy.
No,
and
I totally
even
agree.
if I don't, when people walk up and I'm like, I know your face, and he's like, oh my god, we met, and I'm like, thank you so much. Like, that's what it is. And when we can't do a meet and greet like this anymore, right? When it is that we're capping at 300 and suddenly we have 3,000 people pissed at us for doing that, that's a huge struggle for us to figure out. It's something we're talking about here where one of the other UK best friends came up and he's like, when are you doing another live event? When are you doing another Kind of Funny live? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, this was the break year where we're going to do no live events. Instead, we turned it into 7 live events. And the meet and greets have been great because it is a distilled, here's 300 people, 500 people that we get to talk to and have a real relationship with. And he's like, yeah, that's great. I want to come do that in the US. And I'm like,
me too.
Right. When we do that, when we say, hey, we're doing Kind of Funny meet and greet, just one this year, it's going to be in SF, it's just us at a park, awesome. And it's 1,700 people, like, the entire day is what the final 30 minutes here of like, photo, handshake, great, thank you.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
And then I walk to the bathroom and I see people I saw Vince Patel out there, and I'm like, you weren't even in my line. He's like, it's too crowded. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, my nightmare is you coming to a Kind of Funny event and not getting to meet us. And so, I'm not saying we won't ever get that big, or we don't have, we don't want to get bigger or anything like that. Right now, we grow year over year. Tim was on this other interview with me today, and they were like, how do you sum up
other interview?
fucking 20?
Dare they?
Well, they're doing it like, they're going to type it up. You'll never see it. Nobody's going to read it.
I can't even spell that. Like, type it up. Jesus. Dyslexic.
It was the but it was the question of how is 2019? 2019 has been Kind of Funny's most successful year. And I don't know how that happens. I don't know how every year is more successful than last. And so to talk about this, that, monetization, views, headlines, obviously there's hundreds of things we can do way better than we do. But as long as that is the narrative every time, as long as it is that, we hired Barrett this year, we hired another person, we're doing this, we're looking at new studios,
Let's break it down. What does Barrett do?
God, I don't know. That's a good question. No, Barrett writes all of our tweets. Barrett
I know that. Again, I'd much rather be educated on Kind of Funny. What I think I always judged Joey in a way that was so unfair because I thought she's a community manager and this is what I would do. I would talk to people and I understand now that she's so much busier than community manager.
I think she's office coordinator, I think is her title now or something like that.
But that's the first time I've heard that.
Because we're bad at that,
so for me it's a case of I'm like, damn it, I'm trying to I hate having to contact you for anything because I know how busy you are. But you're so great at getting back to me about things. It's like, I should be going to Joey for this. But Joey gets buried and I don't hear from her for like, it's hard. It's so hard. And I was so wrong. So wrong.
And that's the thing is, I think when we introduced Joey originally, right, it was that she was community manager part-time. And then at Kind of Funny Live 3, 2, when we're she's full-time. I forget even when we said she was community manager when she came out there. But it was that thing where once she was in the office full-time, she became the heart and soul of what we do.
Which I know that now. You can tell now.
I know. And so I think I understand the perspective from the outside that like, oh, you should go to Joey with everything. It's like, well, Joey you should go to with Patreon problems, but then Tim's going to her with problems for the meet and greet, and I'm going to problems about this thing, and then what about the t-shirt? And it's like, she's underneath so much. And so it's the same thing where the way we've broken up community management, right, is very much that I think I'm on the Reddit, and I talk on the Reddit all the time.
Yeah.
And I know Joey and Tim are on Facebook a lot. And I think Tim lurks on everything, but Tim, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these different ways to get it and the right person to get it from.
Yeah.
And like lots of the answers are, for me, I don't know. I need to check with Joey because that is her column of work or whatever. It's confusing and crazy. Barrett got hired to write our tweets and then be second director. So like Kevin is usually director one on all the shows.
Makes sense.
But when Kevin is on the show or Kevin is prepping for the next show, we need somebody to step in and do that. And that's what Barrett's role is.
Cool.
And that's why you see him in the back so much, doing all that stuff.
Again, I think he's a great addition, personally. I think it's going to be very interesting when we get to hear more from him.
Totally.
When he gets his own, like Andy, when he gets his own show. Or
when he gets his own voice even, right?
Yeah.
I think watching him on, Star Wars in review and be able to pop up where he's an expert, like him doing the Batman Arkham anniversary stream, which was totally his idea.
And a lot of people love that.
Yeah. Like, that's what I want to foster. I want to bring in people and hopefully give them enough breathing room that they say, I want to do X, and we're able to go, okay, cool. You want to do this show? Cool, we'll do this thing. You know what I mean?
Let's go from there then, shall we? Friend of mine who I've done a podcast with regularly, Snowbite Mike. I love Snowbite Mike.
Me too.
The problem with Snowbite Mike is he needs to adapt his... No, that's the problem. He's got to learn how to do other things. He's the best presenter I've met.
Yeah.
He's better than me by a mile in.
He's better than me, I think.
Do you know what? I agree.
Yeah.
I do actually agree of like being a presenter.
Sure.
And I think with him, I love him. Obviously, he was on my Xbox and me for about 3 or 4 months. We did it, and I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna make it."
Oh yeah.
But he's got to learn those other skills. All the skills I hate doing: editing, thumbnails,
yeah,
all that.
Well, that's the biggest thing, right? Is like that you bring up a great point, right? Of like, I remember when we started Kind of Funny, and it was literally like when we hired Kevin, and it was all right, cool. What do you think the next hire would be? And I was so hung up on, we'll hire another host, another person to do podcasts with me and Colin, and it'll be like this. And I remember Tim being like, cool, I don't think we're ever going to hire another host. Like, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. He ran me through what we all do on a daily basis. He's like, to hire another person, we are going to have to hire somebody who does hosting and this and that and boom. And it's like, you look at Barrett, where it's like, cool, we need somebody who's able to edit and direct and step in on shows when need be and all these different things. Like, that's awesome, and that's what it needs to be. So like, Mike or anybody for that matter, you need to have this toolbox, this war chest of talents to go and do. Which I would have never expected and never thought of.
Is that because you don't come from the YouTube world?
Yeah, totally.
So a YouTuber is someone that sits down, is talent, is an editor,
dude,
does
like
thumbnails.
I didn't know. I mean, think about my introduction to
Yes.
YouTube probably better than anybody. I did Up at Noon, and they go to VidCon. I went to VidCon. I'm like, fuck, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so when I came home, and it was cool. Nick showed me this is a basic Premiere timeline. You know what I mean? Here's how you clap to sync audio.
Yeah.
Here's how you now I know that, but jumping into it I never would. And so like that is the big question for Snow Mike and a million other people of like, what do you want to do? And think about all the things that entails. Because it isn't anymore like, I wanted to write reviews for a video game magazine.
Yeah.
And that evolved into a website because that was easy. And then I got the rest of the job on the training. I got the rest of the training on the job.
On the job, I got you, don't worry. We understand.
Talking for 5 hours.
You're okay. Where do we go? Okay, quick fire ones, really
Sure,
quick.
okay.
Are Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus free from Mr. Moody?
I saw this. I saw this.
So this is the thing. I forgot to ask you because I was at my mum's house at 4 o'clock in the morning. On my Xbox and me.
Yeah.
So on my Xbox and me, I refuse to say Games with Gold and PSN are free. I refuse.
He's right, everybody. You pay.
I refuse.
You pay for PlayStation Plus. You pay for Xbox Live Gold.
Shut up! I'm not doing this no more. Red Winner of Smoke.
I still say when I do it, here's the free games of the month, but because you're subscribed.
The headline is that. Where I just take that out.
But no, you still need to pay for the service, so no games are free.
I refuse.
Is your multiplayer access on PlayStation Plus free?
No!
You pay for it.
Exactly. Don't at me. Don't at me no more. Alright?
Don't at!
This is done. Joe, I don't really want to use. I don't want to use other people's questions. I want
cowards.
How dare they? People are asking about bourbon and stuff like that. It's like no.
About bourbon?
Sorry, I could hit bourbon.
Oh, bourbon. Okay, yeah.
I could hit let Tim host. Let Tim
down. Tim's leaving, so they're giving him 3 cheers there.
Man, I could easily go on for so long with you.
You could.
I really could.
It's so easy and natural for us.
Is it?
When are you coming to America? When are you hosting Kind of Funny Games Daily? What's your fucking problem?
So my thing, like I say, my thing is, obviously, I want to see the upper come. My thing is, I want to come.
Yeah.
But I want to come for work reasons. I want to come. It's got to be for MC Fixer. So I would pay if you said to me, right, pay to get yourself out there, and you could do a week. I'd do it.
Oh, okay.
Hard day.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's a case of coming to do one show.
Yeah,
it's so expensive.
That's a bill.
For me, it's so expensive, and I've got nobody out there that I know. And I know me. I would want to be with Sans. I would want to be with you guys.
Yeah.
I would work like if you were like. I'm not asking you to. I'm saying, but if you're like, all right, come. I can't promise you all the time, but you can do 2 shows, and then you can be around.
Sure.
I'd come in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I'd literally book tickets tomorrow. Like it's just that. But for me, it's got to be
good to know.
Because I'm not. I don't make a lot of money. Like people think I make about $250 on Patreon. And I live on that. Like I do not make money. I'm lucky that I have a supportive fiance who is the best. She's the absolute best. Like she really is. And she's let me live this dream for the last 4 years now. But I'm getting to that point now. I'm 27 and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't think it would be a case I ever stop totally.
Sure.
But it's a case of we're trying to buy a house and we're going to start talking about babies and even getting a mortgage, you need to earn decent money. And you go, oh, self-employed video game influencer, which I hate the word influencer.
And they're like, what does that mean? You're like, I got a free jacket.
Yeah. Trust me, all that free stuff I give away now. I'm like, I don't care.
Oh, totally.
I don't care.
Me too.
But for me, it's a case of I've never been to America.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've never been. We went to Egypt this year, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
See the pyramids?
Yeah, went to the pyramids, which was one of those experiences I never thought I'd have.
Yeah.
Didn't even want to go. I drove 6 hours on a coach there and 6 hours back. And I was like, I ain't doing this. Hey, gets me. He's like, you are. How dare you? How dare you? Of course you are.
Jen pulled on me last night at dinner. We had a few, and she's just like, I want to go to Antarctica.
Oh,
and she laid out the trip. She's like, do you want to go? I'm like, no, but I will. Like, you're my wife. If you want to go, we'll go.
Exactly. Like, for me, it's like kind of funny live. It's like, I was telling you earlier that I come into some money. Thank you to Yuki who gave me some money when I got robbed, which was like, I've put that money away strictly for a trip to America.
Yeah.
Which is, I've still got more to save, don't get me wrong. But yeah, if the right opportunity came about, I would 100% be there in no time. Like, there literally would be nothing that would keep me. But it's that face to face. I want that. It's not even that I want.
You want to be there for the right reasons.
I want to be there for work, or I don't really want to come to San Fran. I'd rather go to a different part of America.
Sure, hell yeah.
That's like LA or something like that. Are you ever gonna move?
LA. You'd hate LA.
Would I?
No. There's in no point in the near future are we moving to LA.
Is that like a? This is the question. Is that a you thing or is that a team?
That's a team thing.
That's a team thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing about it when you look into it, right? People are always like, oh, rip it up and move to LA, Seattle, Austin, blah, 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 blah. And it's that thing of, that sounds fine on, oh, sure, whatever.
It sounds fine through a tweet, it doesn't work out economically.
When you sit there, like, first off, LA, we're not going to save that much money.
No.
It's cheaper. It's not cheap.
Yeah, I live in London, but I'm on the poor part of London.
And that's
it's
the
cheap.
thing. When people are like, I'm moving to LA, and like, where are you moving? Like, I'm an hour outside of downtown. It's like, motherfucker, you aren't in LA anymore. Like, that's the point. If I want to move an hour somewhere else out of the Bay, sure.
Like Kent here. It's like, if you're in Kent, you're not in London.
Yeah.
You can be on the outskirts, but it still takes you forever to get into certain parts.
I think, and I think the team thinks to quite the degree, that SF defines us. You know what I mean? Like, we are.
Interesting.
Like, I 100% believe the opportunities we're given, we've been given for, obviously we're good and cool and people like Greg Miller, but it is the idea that SF is a small pond.
Yeah.
So when, hey, I'm bringing my game to town and I want to see IGN, GameSpot, and Kind of funny. Like, that was the amount of like people who walked in and hung out in my house.
Yeah.
In my spare bedroom.
I'm so pissed I never got to come.
One day it'll be a museum. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a caliber that's so crazy to think of. Like, Aisha Tyler was there, right?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, Ego.
Is that weird to you? That those people were there?
It was in the old days.
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing of like, you know, leaving IGN and starting Kind of Funny. There was a chip on my shoulder. There was that moment of like, do they like me because of IGN and the reach, or do they like Greg Miller? And so to see how that was, like, I remember apologizing to many a guest, bringing them up the stairs. My landlord lives above us in the spare bedroom. And they were always like, no, it's fine. And it took me a long time, and even to this day, we're like, okay, cool. If you've come this far, you're cool.
Yeah.
We're never going to get somebody who... I brought, people into IGN to do Up at Noon and other stuff, too, that I won't name. Yeah. But, like, that were, like, clearly like, okay, cool. You're not cool. Like, you're going to promote whatever. You're here to promote your thing.
You're doing a job.
Yeah. But, like, for Aisha Tyler, when she's like, yeah, I'm in town to do something else, so, like, I have a morning free, you want to do it? Or Felicia Day's like, I'm taking extra day in SF, you want to do it? Sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to be on those people's short lists. Where, like, I think that always speaks to the caliber of people. Where that if you're on the shows or watching the show, you're your best friend.
Yeah.
Where, like, somebody today was telling me, like, you know, they saw Troy at London Comic Con. They walked up in a Kind of Funny. He's like, oh my God.
I interviewed him and Nolan North before,
Yeah.
and I was wearing Kind of Funny gear, and the whole interview just turned into me talking about Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
Like, you got 3 minutes. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get the questions I wasn't in for him. I was like, let's talk about Greg, let's talk about Kind of Funny. And they're like, oh my God.
And that's the thing, is if you've seen them on there, they're legitimately that cool.
Yeah.
And they will make it work, and they will do this thing. Like, me and Michael Rosenbaum, still to this day, fucking bros, because he came on once, right?
Yeah.
And fucked around, and it made sense.
Interesting. We'll touch on it because people want me to ask. Obviously, you had an interaction with the one and only Colin Moriarty.
Colin Moriarty, no taxation. I know him well.
How was that? Obviously, it was a mistake. Which was obviously, it was one of those things.
If you don't know the story, it's a great one.
Yeah.
Because, it was the day finally Andrea's We Have Cool Friends popped.
Yeah.
And on the same day, Colin put up his Patreon post. I was like, hey, I'm leaving California. I'm going to go to Virginia. And so I saw it, and I clicked on it, and I copied it and sent it to Jen.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I was reading, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, well, time to promote Andrea's thing. And I did it, and I swear to God, I clicked the share button on Andrea's episode, but I didn't. I put the Patreon thing up, sent it away, went back to work, and then I checked my phone, and it was a text from John Drake. He's like, hey, heads up, you said the Collins thing. I'm like, oh, fuck. Deleted it, reposted it. Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people now think that this is going to be the making of a reunion at some point. I've spoken to you before on this. It's something that you've spoken about. Don't really need to go in depth about it, but is it something you're even open to? Is it something that you think that can even happen? I think it's more a case of it's for the fans, but if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, my stance is the same stance it was last year, right? Of like, I wish Colin nothing but the best, right? Yeah. We did a lot of great stuff together. We're amazing. I have nothing but love for him. Like I put in the Reddit post. Like I have a long Reddit post up about it. And like, no, I have no interest in that. Like we broke up and we moved our separate ways.
Yeah. No, thank you for answering that.
Oh, no problem, man.
Let's end it there. Thank you all for watching. If you don't know who this man is, he is Game Over Greggy. Greg Miller, CEO.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, man, I'm not gonna lie.
We should have thought through the titles.
Real talk though, I think I forget how big you are. I know you don't see yourself as like Greg Miller because you're you.
Yeah.
But I think when I see you tweet on people, and I'm like, and anytime you like a tweet of mine, I'm like, oh my God, it's Greg like my tweet.
That's crazy.
I'm so happy.
I fucked up when Blessing was on We Have Cool Friends from the
Yeah, I watched it, of course.
At the end, he's like, what's it like to be Greg Miller?
Yeah.
And I fucked up because I should have said, what do you think it's like? Because I don't know what I just know my life, which is I fuck up tweets and I wrote the wrong tweet.
I think it must be like you have a lot of fans messaging you constantly.
Sure.
You've built great relationships in the industry, so you're well respected in the industry, so you can get to anything.
Sure.
I mean, you always seem happy. You always seem fun. You always seem.
Well, we all know that's not true.
No,
you know how it is to be on camera. Yeah.
On camera, which again, I keep saying to people, the Greg Miller that goes home with Jen now. And
what up, Jen?
gets to go in the hotel is going to be a lot quieter. It's going to be a lot more chill.
This Greg Miller can be real quiet today.
It sounds silly, but it's with me the same as well. It's like I'm MC Fixer when I'm here.
Yeah.
And then
Corey
literally, you can always, when I get home, it's Corey. And you can tell when I'm getting tired. And then I start getting close to Haley. And I start hugging and I'm like, can we go? Like last night, 10:30, I'm like, everyone's still partying hard. And I'm like, can we go home? And she's like, I really want to keep going. I'm like, all right, we'll go for a little bit. And we literally, 10 minutes, I'm like, babe, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I can't do it. But yeah, I just imagine it's just a case of you have people always hitting you up for opportunities. You have people always wanting your time. I know that because I always want your time.
That's all fair. Okay, that counts. Yeah.
I think I don't think life comes easy because you've worked damn hard to get there. But I feel like you're at that. I said it to you last year, like you made it. He's like, well, you've made it, and I'm like, no, I've not yet. Until I make a full-time wage, and that's my whole business plan was always, if I can get 1,000 people to give me $1 a month. $1,000, I could live on that and go from there. I'm not there yet.
Sure.
I will get there.
Sure.
I will get there.
I really feel like when you get there though, the bar is gonna move again.
Oh,
like that's the thing is like it's for the you've made it thing. Like the moment you say I've made it is when you take your foot off the gas, and I'm sure.
You're right.
Then Kind of Funny doesn't have a better 2020 than it did 2019. You know what I mean? Like
that makes
we're
sense.
out there trying to make you happy and trying to make everybody feel like happy.
Quite hard.
Yeah, I feel for you.
Thank you so much for your time. Let it go.
Anytime. I love you.
We got a hug again. No, last question. So what's a man got to do to get followed on Instagram?
Oh, I'll just follow you. I'm just bad at Instagram. do you understand that I went and officiated my friend's wedding, and we were at breakfast, and he's like, so I noticed you follow so-and-so on Instagram. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you don't follow me? I'm like, really? Are you on Instagram? Like, how would I know? I don't know.
The only reason I asked that because you robbed me last time. Last year, I was like, my last question, because I've been begging you for a Twitter follow.
Oh, okay.
I was like, last year, that was going to be my end question. So now I'm like, let's make it happen, people. Let's make it happen. Of course.
God,
my brand is on point.
What good branding.
People was like, drop the MC. I can't. If you Google Fixer, MC Fixer don't pop up. It's Fixer on an Xbox 360 or something.
Follow back.
I made it. I finally made it.
Done, everybody. We did it. Follow him too.
Yeah, do it, please.
Give me the hug.
Come on.
Oh, I love you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Please, God. Anytime.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you for all your time.